Good Saturday morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays, just coming to you this morning on this Saturday, July the 15th, 2023, and just presenting to you a little bit of action PC baseball this morning, continuing in my 1956 baseball season, Major League Baseball season, featuring the 56 season. Not any particular team. One of the reasons I did choose the 1956 season was I wanted to see how Mickey Mantle would do, seeing that was his Triple Crown season, and see how he would fare. But I didn't want to play the entire season with the Yankees. Just kind of picking teams each time I play that are fairly evenly matched in the records, the season standings. And this time we're going to be featuring two teams that are kind of in the middle of the pack. Interesting enough, in this season, most of the teams are not faring that well. There's a couple of teams that have good records, but most of them are either right around 500 or have losing records. So, and that's what we're going to have with this matchup against the 1956 New York Giants and Brooklyn Dodgers. That will be our matchup this morning, as I'm going to get us over to the field. And you'll see we're at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. And today in Ebbets Field, it is 70 degrees, clear and calm. The winds are calm, so it should be a good day for baseball, as we have the New York Giants, who are currently at a 10-11 record in the season, against the Brooklyn Dodgers, who are 10-10. On the mound for each team, we're going to have Roger Craig and then Jim Hearn for the New York Giants. Roger Craig on the mound. In the 56 season, he had a 3.7 ERA with a 12-11 record with a 1.286 WHIP and a 3.71 ERA. In this replay, he's not faring as well. He's got a 5.13 ERA. He's 2-2, but his WHIP is actually a little bit lower at 1.260. He's just not getting the support behind him, are allowing a few more runs, or maybe he's allowing them to hit the ball too well. But for the Giants, as they face Roger Craig from the Dodgers, you have leading off Whitey Lockman in left field. And so we'll just get into it. I'm going to read them off as we go. Excuse that. So Lockman on this replay is batting .275 with 6 RBIs. And Craig toes the rubber. Lockman steps in. And we'll get this game underway as let's play ball. Here comes the pitch from Craig. Slow ground ball to Gillum at second. Fires it over to Gil Hodges at first for the 4-3 put out. And out number 1. And that'll bring up Alvin Dark, shortstop, batting .300 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs on the season. 1 down as Alvin Dark, right-handed hitting Dark against the righty Craig, steps to the plate. Here's the pitch from Craig. Another ground ball hit sharply to Gillum at second. Easy play, 4-3 put out, 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. In this replay, he's batting .324 with 3 home runs and 16 RBI. So swinging a pretty good bat is Mays, as Mays steps in. Roger Craig hoping to get a clean inning here as Mays digs in. Here's the pitch from Craig. Ball's hit into center field. It is hit deep. Duke Snyder chasing it back to the wall, and it will be a warning track long out. So 3 up and 3 downs, no runs, no hits, no errors. After a half an inning, we go to the bottom of the first, scoreless, and Jim Hearn on the mound for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Hearn on this replay, not doing as well as he did in the reel. In the reel, he was 3.97, and this replay's 4.15, and an 0-5 record. So not getting much help when he pitches with a 1.286 whip. Coming to the plate for the Dodgers, Jim Gillum, playing second base, batting .287 with 7 RBIs on this season. Batted .300 in the reel, so performing slightly less in this replay. As Gillum steps in, excuse me one second. I didn't even check to see if we were actually up and running, and we are. Good. Probably nobody in the chat this morning because it's 7:35 in the morning, and I just felt like playing a game after I do my Bible reading in the morning. So here we are. Jim Gillum steps to the plate, batting .287 with 7 RBIs. Hearn toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. And Gillum trots down to first base as Hearn gets a leadoff walk on a 3-2 count. It was high and inside. And that brings up Randy Jackson, the third baseman, batting .239 with an RBI, below his .274 average in 56. Gillum takes a slight lead on second. Here is the pitch. And they throw over to first to keep Gillum honest as I'm going to be risky this morning. Let's do some small ball as Hearn goes in the windup. Gillum takes off for second, and off he goes. And here's the throw, and too late. Gillum slides under the tag, and that's his first steal of the season as Gillum down to second. Runner in scoring position as Gillum, with good speed, takes second. Jackson now with Gillum on second as Hearn brings the pitch, squares to bunt, sacrifice by Jackson. And Gillum moves over to third, so a good sacrifice by Jackson as we have a runner on third with 1 out, and Duke Snyder coming to the plate. Snyder on the season batting .314 with 6 home runs and 16 RBIs as Gillum takes a slight lead off of third. Here's the pitch to Snyder from Hearn, and looks like he hit Snyder as Hearn having a little control issues. Well, no, it didn't hit him. He just missed down and in. No, it did. It did hit him in the leg. Snyder tried to move out of the way, but clipped him in the leg as he was trying to move out of the way. So runners on the corners now for the Dodgers as Sandy Almiroz comes to the plate, batting .360 with 6 home runs and 16 RBIs. As Jim Hearn struggling here early, 1 out, runners on the corners. Here is the pitch. Almiroz hits one hard and deep, and it looks like this one is deep into the stands, and this one is gone. Oh, man, I was wrong. It looked like it was in the stands. That is misleading. I need to make some adjustments. That looked like it was fair all the way. But saying it's a souvenir ball, foul ball from Almiroz. And I got excited for no reason as the pitch comes to Omeros from Hearn. Ground ball to second. Can they turn two? Spencer with it. Gillum will head home. He's got a 98% chance. Of course, we're going to head him home, but if they turn two, they could not turn two as Omeros is safely on at first. But that does bring a run across as they get the force out at second. And that's going to bring Gil Hodges to the plate with a runner on first, 2 outs, and Brooklyn up 1-0. As the pitch comes from Hearn. It's lifted into center field. Mays tracking to his right. Makes that play easily. Can of corn. So after one, it is 1-0 Brooklyn on one run, no hits, no errors, and after one complete, Brooklyn won, New York nothing. So Hearn didn't do himself any favors by walking and then allowing the steal, and he finds himself down 1-0 as we go to the second. And Hank Thompson stepping to the plate, third baseman, batting 174 with 2 RBIs. As Craig toes the rubber, here comes the pitch. And he will walk Thompson as Thompson makes his way down to first base, as both pitchers having a little difficulty with control issues, as that will be the first walk for Craig. Spencer to the plate. Darryl Spencer batting 173 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. Thompson takes a slight lead. Here is the pitch. And I failed to mention I'm playing as the Dodgers. That was a bunt laid down by Mueller and successful sacrifice as Thompson advances to second. Runner on second, 1 out, runner in scoring position as Don Mueller, right fielder, comes to the plate, batting .333 with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs early in this season, up from his season average in 56. Thompson takes a slight lead off of second. Craig into his windup and the pitch. Ground ball too short. Pee Wee Reese charging it, fires over to first, and he is safe as that slow high chopper up the middle. Reese fields it, but cannot get it over. It'll be ruled an infield hit. And so runners on first and second as Bill White comes to the plate. Bring the infield in halfway. And here is the pitch to Bill White, batting .235, the first baseman with 1 RBI. And it's a wild pitch, or did it get by? Wild pitch by Craig. Now he's in a spot now as he's got runners on second and third, and the infield will go back to normal. As the pitch comes from Craig, he needs a strikeout here. Will not get it. It's grounded in the hole between short and third. Omeros in left field tosses it in, but a run scores, and now we have runners on the corner with 1 out, and our score tied. Excuse me. Here is the pitch from Craig. Cat lifts it into center field. Snyder charging it. It's not hit deep. Will Mueller try to score from third as Snyder fields it, fires it into Reese, and Mueller will score. No, Mueller held at third. Did not want to test the arm of Duke Snyder. as Jim Hearn, the pitcher, comes to the plate. Runners on the corner. Craig hoping to keep it just to 1 run as it's grounded to Gillum at second. Fields it easily over to Hodges for the 4-3 putout. But after 1.5, we have a tie game, 1-1 between the Giants and the Dodgers. Good game here so far as Carfarillo steps to the plate, the right fielder, batting .329 with 5 home runs and 12 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Jim Hearn. Hit sharply by Frillo. Hit into left field. Lockman comes up, fields it. Poor play by Alvin Dark as he did not break well on the ball. Lets it get by him into left field. And it's a leadoff single by Ferrillo as Pee Wee Reese comes to the plate. Reese batting .286 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Pee Wee. Pee Wee grounds one up the middle and gets into center field as he hits it over the second base bag. And Willie Mays fields it, but it's 2 on, no outs. And back-to-back hits as Roy Campanella comes to the plate. Campanella batting .245 with a home run and 6 RBIs. As both come up, pitch comes. Campanella squares the bunts. More small ball as he lays down the bunt to her. Great play by Cott behind the plate as he fields it, fires to third for 1, but there will be no throw to first. So the sacrifice does not work. It does move Reese over to second, but getting Ferrillo over to third did not work. So a failed bunt by Campanella. And the pitcher, Craig, coming to the plate. The infield corners are in. So I think I'm just going to have him swing away. They're expecting the bunt. Let's take the first pitch. He's going to take the first pitch. And strike 1 called. And he's going to hit away with the corners in. Now he does bunt it to 6, so Craig will lay down the bunt. Bunted back to the pitcher. Fires to second. Looks like it's a throwing error. Someone has been injured. Steve Riddick is now pitching as we lost their pitcher. He was injured. Hearn injured on the play. It was an error on Hearn and trying to field that ball. Hearn is injured, and that brings in Steve Riddick. It's his 6th appearance on the season. That was an E1 on Hearn. Costly error. Allowed Reese over, loaded the bases, and we lost our pitcher. Hearn on the replay is not doing well. He's at a 6.14 ERA and a 1.773 whip. So new pitcher as Jim Gillum steps to the plate, bases loaded, and 1 out. As the pitch comes to Gillum, Riddick in a jam, hit to second. Spencer fields it, tosses it, but cannot turn 2. So Reese will score as the slow ground ball allows Reese to score from third. And we have runners on the corner now with Randy Jackson coming to the plate. Jackson, last time up, bunted out to the pitcher, sacrificing Gillum over to third. This time he'll get to swing away. Randy Jackson swinging away, and Riddick walks him. So now we have the bases loaded for Riddick and Duke Snyder, the dangerous Duke Snyder, coming to the plate. not who you want to face. The base is loaded. 2 outs. Ridzik into his windup and the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. It will get into, well, nope, not ground ball. Great play as it was dropping. Looked like it was going to drop in, but Mays gets it off his shoe tops as a diving catch. Makes a great play in center field to rob the hit, and we go to the third. Great play by Mays to hold it to 2-1 as we go to the third. Whitey Lockman coming to the plate. Leadoff hitter. Grounded to second his first time up. Here's the pitch from Craig. Hits it back to Craig. Fires it over to Hodges for the 1-3 put out. And out number 1. Alvin Dark stepping to the plate. Dark grounded to second his first time up. Dark digs in. Pitch from Craig. Grounded to Reese at short. He is moving forward. Says, attempt a risky play. Out chance 12%. No, that slow roller. Yeah, we'll try it. And it's an infield single by Dark. Those slow rollers, as Reese was charging it, he just could not get Alvin Dark. As Dark is safe, and Willie Mays coming to the plate. Mays fly to deep center his last time up. Here's the pitch to Say Hey. Ground ball to Hodges at first. Hodges fields it, fires it to second, gets the lead man. Cannot get Mays, who makes it safely to first. So with 2 down, Hank Thompson coming to the plate, third baseman. His first time up, walked. Mays on first. Here's the pitch from Craig. Hit sharply at Jackson. Jackson up with it. Fires it to first for the 5-3 put out. And out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors. And we go to the bottom of the third with Brooklyn up 2-1 as Sandy Amoros comes to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day is Sandy. Here's the pitch to Amoros. Hit sharply to White on first. He makes the play. I do not think that image for White is the correct image. Looks a little old. Gil Hodges stepping in. Hodges, 0 for 1 on the day. Fly to left center his first time up. Here's the pitch from Ridzik. Hit sharply into right center field. Mays overfields it, but that's a 1-out single by Gil Hodges as Carl Furillo comes to the plate. Furillo grounded a single between third and short his last time up. Furillo digs in as Ridzik goes into the windup. Ground ball hit to first. White makes the play, but boots it off the heel of his glove. So that's an E3, and that'll be the second error by the New York Giants in this game. And with 1 out, we have runners on first and second. And Pee Wee Reese coming to the plate. Reese grounded a single up the middle his first time up. Runners on first and second. Reese steps in. Ridzik into his windup and the pitch. Ground ball hit towards short. Dark up with it. Over to Spencer. 4-1, but that'll make 2 outs with runners on the corner, and Roy Campanella failed sacrifice attempt his first time up. We'll get to swing away this time. Runners on the corner. As Ridzik goes into windup, Campanella hits the ball sharply to Thompson at third. Thompson makes the play and gets the lead runner at second. It gets Reese at second. No runs on one hit and one error. And after three complete, we go to the top of the fourth with Brooklyn up 2-1. And Darrell Spencer coming to the plate. Spencer bunted out to the pitcher his first time up, but he did sacrifice a run over. So sacrifice bunt by Spencer his first time up. He will be swinging away this time. Here is the pitch from Craig. As Spencer lifts a fly ball into center field, Snyder ranging to his right, settles underneath it for out number one. And Don Mueller coming to the plate. Right fielder, stepping to the plate, batting .342, and singled, hit an infield single his first time up. Mueller 1 for 1 on the day as Craig goes into his windup and the pitch. Another ground ball. This time Craig moves over to cover the bag as Hodges fields the ball, but decides to, well, that's another infield hit by Mueller as they could not make the play at first. So 1 out, runner on first as Mueller 2 for 2 on the day with infield hits. Must be a speedy one, Mueller. Here is the pitch to White. Hit sharply into left field. As that's a single by White. And now with 1 out, we have runners on first and second. And the Giants have something going here in the top of the fourth. As Ray Catt steps in. Here's the pitch. Catt lifts one into center field. Snyder moving to his right, settles underneath it for the F8, fires it into Reese, over to Jackson, holding Mueller at second, and that's going to bring the pitcher, Ridzik, to the plate. Ridzik has had 2 at-bats this season, 0 for 2. He did bat .250 in the real with 28 at-bats. Here's the pitch to Craig, to his counterpart. Ridzik steps up, and he strikes him out. That's the first K of the game for Craig, as Craig steps to the plate to lead off the bottom of the fourth. So going into the bottom of the fourth, after no runs on 2 hits and no errors, we go to the bottom of the fourth with Brooklyn up 2-1. Here's the pitch from Ridzik. And he walks his counterpart. How do you walk the pitcher? That should not happen. 3-1 pitch, and it's outside, and Craig draws the walk. That brings up Jim Gillum. 0 for 1 on the day with a sacrifice is Gillum. Here's the pitch to Gillum. It's Craig on first. Ground ball. Spencer makes the play. Great play by Spencer at second, but will not be able to get to Speedy Gillum as he makes his way to second. Randy Jackson now. He's going to take on this first pitch. Strike 1 at the knees. Gillum takes a big lead off of first base, and he is off to the races again as he's speeding down to second base. This time they get him caught stealing as Gillum cannot get in. Catt with a great throw down to second. And Randy Jackson now in a 0-2 count. And no runner on. Here's the pitch to Jackson. And he walks him. So poor decision on my half. As now Jackson is on first. And Duke Snyder coming to the plate. Snyder lined to center field his last time up. I believe that's the play that Mays made that great diving catch. Here's the pitch to Snyder. Lifted into right field. Mueller moving under it. A couple steps to his left, and he fields it. and nothing across in the bottom of the fourth. So 4 are in the books, and we go to the fifth with Brooklyn up 2-1. Tight game here in Ebbets Field. Warmed up a little bit. It's now 73 degrees with no winds, clear and calm, as Whitey Lockman steps to the plate. Craig, so far on the day, 4 innings pitched. He's allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run. He's walked 1 and struck out 1. Here's the pitch to Lockman. Ground ball to Reese at short. Reese up with it, fires to first. This time he does get the runner. Reese has allowed 2 infield hits, none his fault, as Alvin Dark steps to the plate, 1 for 2 on the day. As Craig goes into his windup and the pitch, and he'll walk Dark. Dark takes a free pass down to first base, as tried that breaking ball, but it was in tight on the 3-1 pitch. That brings up Willie Mays, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Dark on first, pitch to Mays. Mays lifts 1 into center field. Snyder moving to his left, makes the play on the F8 putout, and Dark returns to first base. So now 2 down, runner on first for Hank Thompson. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. As Thompson digs in, Craig with the pitch and walks him. Another walk, second walk allowed in the inning by Craig, as that's now his 3rd walk issued, as we got 2 outs, 2 on. Darryl Spencer coming to the plate. Spencer 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch to Spencer. Craig, ground ball to Gillum at second. Gillum fields it, fires it over to Hodges for the 4-3 putout. So no runs on no hits and no errors. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Brooklyn 2, Giants 1. And that brings up Sandy Amoros, 0 for 2 on the day, as Ridzik comes in. And again, Ridzik is in the game because starting pitcher Jim Hurd injured himself fielding a bunt earlier in the game. Amoros steps in, digs in, and here's the pitch to Amoros. Amoros lifts 1 into center field. Willie Mays moving to his left, takes him a couple steps over, makes a catch for the out. That'll bring up Gil Hodges. Hodges 1 for 2 on the day. He lined a single to right center his last time up. Here's the pitch to Gil Hodges. And Ridzik walks Hodges. So runner on now. Ridzik so far in the game, he's pitched 3 innings. He was allowed a hit, but he's walked 4. So Ridzik is having some control issues. As Carl Furillo comes to the plate, Hodges on first. Ridzik into the windup and the pitch. Ground ball hit to Spencer at second. Fires it over to Dark. Gets the lead runner Hodges, but Furillo will be safe at first. So 2 outs now. Runner on first in Furillo, as Pee Wee Reese, who is 1 for 2 on the day, comes to the plate. Pee Wee digs in as Ridzik brings the pitch. Reese hits the ball at Mays in center field. Can he make the play? Mays does not. It's a single line to 48% chance to be safe. We're just going to hold him. Furillo at second. Don't like his chances as Mays fires the ball in. And that's going to bring Roy Campanella to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch to Campy. Cott comes out and gives some instruction to Ridzik as the pitch comes. And I don't know what information he gave him, but Campanella trots down to first base on a 3-1 count, high and outside, and that loads the bases for the pitcher, Craig. This is one of those cases where do I pinch hit for Craig with the bases loaded going into the sixth? I think I will. Let's see, what left-hander do I want to bring in? Don't have really good one. I've only got Rube Walker. I think I'm gonna bring in Charlie Neal. His average against righties is 288. He's the best option I got. So Charlie Neal comes in to pinch hit, facing Ridzik with the bases loaded. And this might come back to bite me because Craig was not pitching great, but was not pitching poorly. So here's the pitch from Ridzik to Neal. Will this pay off? Here's the pitch. And he strikes him out. So Neal comes in to strike out. That was not what I wanted. I'll bring in a left-hander. Oh, boy. Not that great. I think I'm going to bring in Ed Roebuck to pitch. Roebuck coming in this replay, his ERA is 2.19, so pitching well. Hopefully he can continue that as Mueller steps in. 2 for 2 on the day. Mueller pitch from Roebuck, and it looks like he's going to be 3 for 3 as he hits a shot up the middle to Snyder, and Roebuck allowed a hit. And that's going to bring Bill White up to the plate. White, 2 for 2 on the day. As I fed him to the Wolves early here. Amoros. He's going to try the diving out. 52% chance. Can he make the play? And he does. Amoros with a great play in left field, and Roebuck tips his hat to his left fielder as he makes that great play in left field. And that's going to bring Ray Catt to the plate, batting 170 with 3 home runs. Catt 0 for 2 on the day as Roebuck pitches, hit to Jackson at third. Jackson up with it, fires it over to Gillum, gets the lead runner, and Cott will be safe. And that brings up the pitcher Ridzik with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, excuse me. Here's the pitch. And I thought they would be bringing in a pinch hitter, Dusty Rhodes. And no, not the American Dream. Dusty Rhodes comes in. Pinch hitting. Rhodes batting 200. Mendoza line, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Rhodes. Ground ball. Gillum moving in on it, makes the play, fires over to second for the 4-3 put out. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, and Marv Grissom is now pitching for the Giants. Grissom in this replay has a 4.0 ERA with 1 loss in 9 innings pitched. In the real, he had a 1.56 ERA. So extremely different. So Grissom steps in, toes the rubber as Gillum comes to the plate 0 for 2 on the day. Here is the pitch. He is now 1 for 3 on the day as Gillum leads off, slaps a single into left center field as Lockman fires it in. That's going to bring up Randy Jackson. Jackson has been on base each time he's been up. He bunt sacrificed and on base twice, excuse me. They fire over to hold Gillum at second. This time he will not be stealing as Jackson swings away. I didn't send him. Oh, I did. I hit the wrong button. Oh well. Well, that happens. I meant to hit. I hit steal, and they caught Gillum again. No, that's what happens. Jackson swinging away. Ground ball to Spencer at second. Fires over to White for the out. 2 down. Duke Snyder coming to the plate. 2-1 game here in the bottom of the 6th. And he strikes out Snyder as Ed Roebuck now on the mound. As Whitey Lockman steps to the plate. We go to the 7th. Brooklyn 2, New York 1. It's a tight game here in Ebbets Field. Again, wind is calm, 75 degrees. Here's the pitch from Roebuck. Lockman trots down to first. Walk issued by Roebuck. As Dark steps in. Here's the pitch to Alvin Dark. Lays down a bunt. Campanella fires it to Reese, but over his head into center field. And that's an error on Campanella as he threw it into center field. Lockman goes to second. Dark to first. First error on the Dodgers on that E2. As now we have runners on first and second with no outs. As the pitch comes to Willie Mays. Roebuck struggling now. He's loaded the bases as he walked Mays. Here's the pitch to Thompson. Thompson 0 for 1 on the day. Campanella giving Roebuck some encouragement. Here comes the pitch. And he walks him to tie the game up. Roebuck struggling. Leave him. He's walked 3. I think that's going to be all for Roebuck. As Jim Hughes steps to the plate. Comes in to pitch. Excuse me. Hughes yet to pitch in this replay, so taking a gamble here. His bases are loaded. Here's the pitch from Hughes to Spencer. Ground ball. Fly ball to Snyder. Snyder makes the play. He's going to try to make the diving catch. He can't come up with it. So it's a base hit. Dark scores. Thompson to second. Mays at third. And now we have a 3-2 game as the Giants now lead 3-2. As Hughes goes into the windup with the bases loaded. Lifted into center field. Snyder tracking back for it as it's hit deep. Snyder will field it. But that's probably going to score Mays from third, and it will. Now it's a 4-2 game. And Bill White coming to the plate. 1 out, runners on first and second. Here's the pitch from Hughes. Ground ball to Jackson at third. Jackson fires over to Gillum, and they get Spencer. Cannot get White, because I don't think we've seen a double play turn this whole game. Runners on the corners for the catcher caught. As Hughes goes into the windup, here's the pitch. Again, hit sharply at Jackson at third. Jackson up with it. Gets the lead runner White for out number 3, but 3 runs on 1 hit and 1 error. And we go to the bottom of the 7th with the Giants now leading 4-2, and this game changed quickly as Take Me Out to the Ball Game plays. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Stretch your legs. Sandy Amoros comes to the plate. Marv Grissom with the pitch. Amoros hitless on the day. It's a ground ball to White at first. White grabs it, makes the play by himself, 3 unassisted for out number 1. And that'll bring Gil Hodges to the plate, 1 for 2 on the day. Grissom into the windup and the pitch. And he gives Hughes a free pass as Hughes trots down to first. For out, 1 out, runner on, Carl Furillo with Pee Wee Reese on deck. Furillo swings away, hits it sharply at Spencer at second. Spencer tosses to Dark, gets the lead runner Hodges, but will not get Furillo at first. And that'll bring up Pee Wee Reese, 2 for 3 on the day. Furillo on first. Here is the pitch. Reese hits one sharply to left. It looks like it's going to be slicing foul, though. And Lockman going after it. He's under it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So no runs on no hits and no errors. And we go to the 8th with the Giants up 4-2. Crowd's getting a little restless as Hughes on the mound. Here's the pitch to Grissom. And they're going to bring in George Wilson to pinch hit as Grissom has a seat. And here's the pitch to Wilson. Foul ball. It's off the mask of Roy Campanella. Wilson swinging away. It's a slow grounder to Hodges. Hodges makes a great play on it. Gil Hodges with the great play at first and the 3 unassisted. And that's Whitey Lockman, the left fielder, coming to the plate, 0 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch to Lockman. Hughes, ground ball. Hughes plays it, fires it over to first for the 1-3 put out. Great play by Hughes on the mound. And Alvin Dark stepping to the plate. Dark 1 for 2 on the day. Here is the pitch. And he strikes him out. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Don Little now coming to the pitcher's mound to pitch. 3.52 on this replay. ERA. Campanella coming to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. Can Campy get something going here in the bottom of the 8th as they trail 4-2? Here is the pitch. And Campanella is walked by Lytle. And that's going to bring up Jim Hughes. And, of course, we're going to pinch hit for him here in the bottom of the 8th. And who do we go bring in? We're going to bring in Jackie Robinson to pinch hit. against the lefty Lytle. Batting .327 with a home run and 7 RBIs is Jackie. Campanella takes a slight lead. Here's the pitch to Robinson, and he walks Jackie Robinson. So runners on first and second, no outs. And Jim Gillum coming to the plate. Gillum's going to swing away as Lytle's struggling a little bit here. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Spencer at second. Can they turn two? Gillum's speedy, so will not get him. So runners now on the corner with 1 out. And Randy Jackson coming to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day is Jackson. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Hit sharply into left center field. It will get to the wall. Campanella scores from third. Gillum on his horse and send Gillum home. He's got a 66% chance. We will say yes. And we'll send Jackson to third. He is safe. Gillum is safe, and Jackson is down to third. And we now have a 4-3 ball game with a runner on third with 1 out. And the Dodgers got something cooking here as Duke Snider comes to the plate. Snider 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out his last time up as Lytle looks at Snider. Here's the pitch. And it's hit into center field. Will Mays make the play. You'll have to excuse my dogs. And Jackson is going to tag up and see if he can get home as Mays fires it in. Jackson out. He got him at the plate. Jackson fired it in and got him trying to make run number 5. And so we go to the 9th, tied up 4-4, and I need a pitcher. And Clem Labine coming in to pitch. Quite the game we have here, tied up 4-4 here in the 9th. Labine facing Willie Mays. Mays 0 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch to Mays. Ground ball up the middle into center field. Snider makes the play. Leadoff single by Willie Mays. That's going to bring Hank Thompson to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day. So walk twice. Good eye by Thompson as Labine goes into his windup and the pitch. Lays down the bunt. Will move Mays over. I should have been playing for the bunt, but I'm a poor manager. That'll bring up Darryl Spencer as Mays is on second. Here's the pitch to Spencer. Ground ball at Jackson at third. Jackson fields it, fires it over to first. Will get Spencer. Will that move Mays over? It does. So we have Mays 90 feet from taking the lead in this game, and Don Mueller, the right fielder, coming to plate. He's 3 for 3 on the day. So dangerous Mueller swinging a hot bat. What will Labine do as Labine toes the rubber, brings the pitch, and it's hit sharply at Gillum. Gillum makes the play. 4-3 putout as Gillum, sure-handed second baseman, prevents a run from coming across. And so we go to the bottom of the 9th, tied up 4-4. And Sandy Amoros coming to the plate. Lytle still on the mound. Here's the pitch to Amoros. And he lifts it into right field. Mueller tracking under it well, charging for it as it's hit shallow. Mueller breaks well on it, makes the catch in shallow right field. 1 down. Gil Hodges coming to the plate. Lytle into his windup, pitch to Hodges. Hodges hits one hard at Mays in center field. Mays tracks underneath it. 2 up and 2 down. High fly ball, but Mays is under it, and he catches it for the out. And that brings up Carl Furillo. 1 for 4 on the day, 2 down, and it looks like we might be going extra innings. as Furillo steps in. Here's the pitch from Lytle. Ground ball to White at first. White fields it. 3 unassisted. And we're into free baseball as we go to the 10th. Extra innings here at Ebbets Field. It's Clem Levine still on the mound as Bill White steps up. Lifts one into left field. Amorose tracking it. Hardly moving as it's hit right at him for out number 1. Can of corn. And that's going to bring up Ray Cott, the catcher, 0 for 4 on the day. Here's the pitch to Cott. And Levine walks Cott, puts a runner in scoring on the bag. And that's going to bring up Little. I'm sure he's going to be pitch hit for it. And that brings in Bob Lennon. Pitch hit for Little. Lennon in the replay batting at the Mendoza line. Here's the pitch to Lennon. Runner on first. Ground ball. Levine plays it. Gets the lead runner caught. And that is the first double play we've seen turn today, as it was a 1-6-3 double play. And Wendy McCall comes in now to pitch for the Giants as we go to the bottom of the 10th. Pee Wee Reese to the plate. McCall with a gaudy 7.94 ERA in this replay. 2-1 record, though. Here's the pitch from McCall to Reese. Ground ball hit at Dark at short. Dark fields it, fires it over to first, and they get Reese. That brings up Roy Campanella, 0 for 2 on the day, as Wendy McCall goes into windup and the pitch. Ground ball right back at McCall, who makes the play. 1-3 put out, 2 up and 2 down, and Clem Levine coming to the mound. And we're going to pitch hit for Levine. I don't have. I guess Rube Walker's going to come in. Pinch hit. Dogs barking at the neighbors walking. As McCall goes into windup, Rube Walker hits it hard at White. White will field it easily. And we go to the 11th. Still tied up 4-4, and I need a pitcher. Things are getting kind of shaky. Who do I bring in? Nobody looks good. Ken Lehman will come in to pitch as my bullpen's getting kind of skinny. He's a 4.15 ERA in this replay. As Lehman comes in to face Lockman, who's 0 for 4 on the day. Here's the pitch from Lehman. Ground ball hit to Randy Jackson at third. Jackson up with it, fires it over to Hodges for the 5-3 put out, and out number 1. That'll bring up Alvin Dark, who's 1 for 3 on the day, as a lefty Lehman facing the right-handed hitting Dark. Ground ball hit to Jim Gillum at second. Gillum over to Hodges for the 4-3 put out. 2 up and 2 down, and Willie Mays stepping to the plate. Mays 1 for 4 on the day. Lehman into his windup and the pitch. Ken Lehman, as Mays hits one into right field. Carl Furillo moving quickly to his left, makes the play. 3 up and 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 11th. Still tied 4-4 here in Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. And Jim Gillum coming to the plate. Who will be the breakthrough hit for this game as Wendy McCall. Gillum hits one sharp and deep down the left field line. And not deep enough as Lockman caps under it, makes a catch to retire Gillum in fair territory. That's going to bring up Randy Jackson. 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch to Wendy McCall hits it to White at first. 3 unassisted. 2 up and 2 down is Duke Snyder, who's 0 for 4 on the day. And you would think Snyder's got his due for a hit as he's facing against McCall. Here is the pitch to Snyder. And he strikes him out. Snyder having a poor day. And we go to the 12th. Still tied 4-4. And Ken Lehman still on the mound. That's going to bring up Hank Thompson, batting 167. Here's the pitch to Thompson. And he walks Thompson, not wanting runners on. Come on, Lehman. Darrell Spencer stepping in, 1 for 4 on the day. Here's the pitch from Lehman. Lays down the bunt. Hodges charging it, fields it, gets it to Gillum. And I'm just, again, a poor manager. I should have been looking for the bunt. But I get it. I'm kind of in a hurry to get this game over because it's going longer than I anticipated. I got things to do, but hey, we're in extra innings. Mueller, 3 for 4 on the day. Here's the pitch from Lehman. Mueller's just swinging the bat well. He gets it into left field. Amorose charging. Will Thompson try to score? He will. And here's the throw. And he is safe. That's the 4th hit for Mueller today. We have a 5-4 ball game now as Lehman allows the run. Runner on first. 1 out. Hit to Hodges at first. Fires over to second. Gets the lead runner. And you'll have to forgive my dogs. They decide it's time to have a wrestling match. Right at my feet. Ray Catt, catcher, comes to the plate. Here's the pitch from Lehman, and he strikes him out. So we go to the bottom of the 12th now with the Giants up 5-4. And Sandy Amorose coming to the plate. 0 for 5 on the day is Amorose. Not a good day, and he's 0 for 6. Struck him out. Wendy McCall with strikeout number 2. That'll bring up Gil Hodges, 1 for 3 on the day. Hodges hits one sharply at Thompson at third. Thompson up with it quickly out of his glove over to first for the 5-3 putout. And out number 2. And Carl Furillo, last chance for the Dodgers as they trail 5-4 here in the bottom of the 12th. Here is the pitch to Furillo. And he grounds it up the middle. Dark plays it over the bag, fires over to first for out number 3. And that is our ball game. What a game. A 5-4 finish here in Brooklyn, going 12 innings. Quite the outcome. So let me switch screens where we can take a look at that. Take a look at our box score here. Let's do one thing. Let's get my mug off there so we can see everything. So great game here from Ebbets Field. Woody McCall gets the win. He goes to 3-1. Lehman takes the loss. Mueller 4 for 5 on the day with 2 RBIs. Thompson walked 4 times. So quite the outcome there. As my dogs are having the zoomies behind me. So you see a lot of pitchers used. Bullpens are going to be struggling. McCall did get the win, though, because he went 3 innings, struck out 2, didn't allow any runs or hits or walks. Come in and got the job done. Lehman took the loss. He pitched 2 innings, allowed a hit and a run. It was earned, and it happened to be the winning run. So that's our game. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll say goodbye from here in Ebbets Field. Have a great day. Solely